Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Now, I'm going to do a brief talk on menopause, and if I wasn't given estrogen and estradiol and all that bullcrap, I'm never going to do that. I'm going to wait till next time. I don't have time to. But anyway, this is on forming and lye as fertilizer. Yes, as y'all all know, I did have a garden. I had my marijuana handler permit where I can grow, and I stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And I have my permit to make my own medication, stuff like that. So, yes, I do farm it. My first time I farmed was at the age of 4 of my own accord, and I'm from Brazil, so middle finger. And and then my great grandparents are in Brazil now today, so and my grandparents who also stayed in Georgia at that time also on a farm, so I know how to farm and fly plane. So and when I stayed in New York, Massachusetts, Florida, and California, yes, food up there is expensive. Heck, even Alaska food is expensive. Yes, I used to have to grow my own food inside my closet. Before aeroponics, aquaponics, hydroponics even came out, I was already doing it. So, Littlefinger. But anyway, forming rise and soap wise. Certain material for your form could be used soap and certain materials as a certain kind of soap, not the one with the tizanidine in it. This is the same stuff in your toothpaste. The only way you can use tizanidine for forming is if you purify tizanidine and you dilute it with phosphorus, or you can grow anything that's considered clothes or weeds. In other words, you want weeds to grow on your grass or your forming plot land, or it can break the grass up and feed it. Yes, it will take away nutrient, but you will burn into ash, which I'm about to get to. Ash, depending on where it's coming from, actually, pretty much when you burn it, everything become carbon, then just poof into ash after the carbon is gone. But when you burn certain stuff down to ashes, it can be used as fertilizer, as a lime, or as a increase in pH. You won't increase in pH, otherwise, and alkalinity of soil if you want to for certain fruits or vegetables or plant stuff that require that pH level. You know, pH 6 or 5.5 is the baseline. Anything less than 5.5 is acidic, and anything higher than 5.5 or 6 is alkaline, meaning it has more water base to it. If you mix ash, depends on your technique. You mix it where you roll it, you plant it, you sow it, or you dig a good 3 feet, let it rest for like 2 months, and then do another 3 feet wherever. It can raise the alkaline of your soil, and you can use that for later. It also help retain nutrient because ash absorb a lot of liquids like a winter state. If you plant ashes out in your crops, depends on how you grow, whether you use a square garden or raised garden or a ply garden or underground garden, whatever, and it snows, the ash will absorb the nutrients from the snow, which is why you gotta be careful where you do it at. Or if you do it in a desert, so to speak. And if you use ash as a desert, it will absorb every moisture in that area to that ash due to what it is, and it will start fertilizing or increase the alkaline of the soil, will help the soil retain liquid. The major problem that ash does create quicksand, as well as mud holes, sinkholes, and if you go to the tundras, what we call black holes or whirlpools, what we want to call it, um, ash. And the reason I brought up ash again because you can turn ash into lye. Yes, lye is the stuff that police officers or mafia criminals use to get rid of bodies. Lye will melt the crap out of your skin. Trust me, I know this. I tried it. I didn't melt my skin. I was going to use it to make soap. But yes, um, ash lye is not that difficult to make. It's just hardwood. Certain vegetables and fruits, if you burn it to ash, the ash will have the high potassium nitrate or the potassium carbonate, and you collect that ash in a giant barrel. Man, I missed my barrel. And then you poke holes at the bottom barrel. But before you do that, you make straw, rocks, and stuff, and then you just let water sit over it very slowly, of course. And the straw or the clay or the sand will block everything out but the potassium nitrate or potassium carbide or potassium hypernite. It depends on which one you burn. But that is ash. And it's like I said, it comes from Pacific things you burn. If you burn anything else like softwood, you probably won't get that high yield from it, but you get a yield from it. That's pretty much like in its raw form. The only way to purify that lye if you go through a whole set of process, which I do not feel like talking about because it took me about 2 weeks to make, and I'm not a patient guy. But that is basically lye. And you use that lye to make soap. How pure your lye is, or how pure that lye come out of, you can use it to make high quality soap. If you put a potato in that lye and it does not float or sit on top, it's not purified enough. You got to repeat the process again. Straw, rocks, clay, sand, all that stuff. The only other way to purify lye is, oh man, is a long lost process and require other chemicals like chocolate lime or freaking other stuff. But you can use lye to make soap. Soap is just lye, lard, and whatever antiseptic and scent you want on it. Nothing else. But there's an argument going on with what soap is, from what I'm saying. They say soap is lard and lye, and some people say soap is not lye. You can use other stuff to make it antiseptic. But soap is light. It's always been light. Look at the definition and then the arguments. Definitions is wherever the heck the site want to make it at that time. Look at this. And then some guy wrote a dictionary book, a bunch of bullcrap words, and says soap is not just lye. Bam. That's what soap is. Definition. See what I did? See how it is? Good. Good going. Middle finger. Yeah, it was hilarious. And I'm going to agree with him. Soap is not just lye. Soap is any antiseptic that you use on your skin to destroy skin bacteria. If lye was soap, you just be rubbing lye on your skin. And we all know what lye does to your skin. Yes, it melts through it. Congratulations. It's not just lye, people. Soap is many other things other than lye. You can use, you can purify this to break out the carbonyl distillation of this. Carbonyl distillation is called that because this is what you use to spread genetics, your genes. It's a restriction enzyme as well as ligase enzymes. Ligase enzyme. Soap is nothing more than antiseptic that you can put on your skin. I do not like using scent soap. I have my reason not like using scent soap, but I do not like using scent soap. Yes, I bought some scent soap. There's a difference between hate and not liking. And because it's right there, so I just got it out of nowhere. Next soap I buy, I make it or purchase it. I probably had no need to, but I already know how to do it. I've been making my own soap since I was a child. I do not like scent soap. And this is where for me come in. If you got a soap, bunch of soap, and then if you can chop into bits, use alcohol, depending on the purity of the alcohol, you can separate the properties of liquid out of it, and that liquid will act as a solvent, and it will have separate layer of molecules in it or separate layer of chemicals in it. Or you can use not phosphorus, but you can collect sulfur oxide, which is yes, people say sulfur is bad for your body in high doses, but everything on this planet is in your body. Gold is in your body, silver in your body, rust is in your body. Just not the proper dosage, they can kill you. Anti-venom is in your body. Antitoxin is in your body. This is not any dosage that can kill you. The chemical components that make that up is in your body. Sulfur oxide is also used for plants. You can use stuff for it to grow bananas. I know that. I eat 300 bananas a month. Anyway, you can use sulfur oxide on soap and it will separate into components, and that components can be used for whatever you want. I have not used sulfur oxide on soap, but I have used sulfur oxide on potassium, and I have used sulfur oxide on carbonated, and as well as freaking hydroxides. I have used that because I need my farming products to be good, I need my soil to be good, and I hate pests, which is the main reason why I got my private pesticide applicator. Yes, it's stupid. We're not going to talk about it, but I'm doing my lawsuit right now. A pesticide or herbicide or fumigation or insecticide, freaking whatever. It's just stuff that's bad for the insect, for whatever you're trying to get rid of. But it can also be bad for the people. Depends on how you spray it and how much you spray it. Um, I probably don't see. I don't see anything wrong with GMOs. Honestly, you all are gonna die or something. I would just be the last guy standing there laughing at y'all. GMOs, genetic modified organics. There's nothing wrong with those. You already have cancer. Congratulations. Don't smoke a cigarette. How are cigarettes legal more so than weed? Tobacco is more dangerous. If they say you can smoke plain tobacco, which I had my tobacco permit a couple of states ago where I can grow tobacco, and no, I did not use to smoke it, I used it as medicine. But if they still start selling plain tobacco and none of that stuff, nobody will be smoking a cigarette. When I got deployed to Afghanistan, Iraq, I smoked I smoked a few plain tobacco and I smoke a cigarette. I like the plain tobacco more because they're not addicting. Cigarettes are not addicting. You make it addicting. Stop smoking a cigarette. Don't smoke more than 30, you won't get addicted to it. Congratulations. Just where weed come in, or marijuana, or what the natives call it, the peacemaker, the warpath maker. Today we smoke, tomorrow we war. Whatever. That's it's a fact. It's not as dangerous and does not destroy brain cells. What destroys my brain cells is douchebag subliminally. My body says, yeah, I'm going to throw this over a bridge and watch out try to go get it. I can always come back. Anyway, reason why this came up because GMOs and weed are considered in the same category somehow. I don't really know how. No, genetic modified organisms are not bad for you. Depends on who making where you make it. Why think I did genetic engineering? I don't specialize in just Homo sapiens, canines lupus, and binding genetic engineering. I also specialize in agricultural genetic engineering. That's what I'm talking about, people. I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to prove to myself. Are these people lying? I'm going to find out about it. The white thing I did genetic engineering. Actually, I already knew genetic engineering before I went to it, but whatever. Um, Back to the subject hand with pesticides. Pesticides are only dangerous if the person who's spraying don't know what they're doing, if they spray too much on it, or depending on what pesticide you spray on it. For me, in my situation, that I had a utility easement on my property and it was just grass about my height. The people were supposed to mow that down. They didn't mow it down for 3 months, and they were supposed to spray. I called the Department of Environmental Control. They supposed to spray. Like I said, I had to get my own stuff. The funny part about it is I had my private applicator license when I stayed in New York. A private applicator license is not a business. It just gave me the permit to spray dangerous pesticides or insecticides that can kill a person without the proper equipment or the know-how. It means I can spray on my own property or any property on my name. I already had it in New York, but in Alaska, you had to start all over again. Now I see why when I was in New York, I tried to get my driver's license because I just came from Alaska and it says $300 to get a new driver's license. Plus, I got to take a driving test. And I looked at the website, they wasn't online. It's the same thing with Massachusetts or New Hampshire. Douchebags. But anyway, it's the same thing up here actually, because I went from North Dakota to freaking California and it's like $150 for a driver's license at that time frame. But anyway, subject at hand. My private application license for New York did not work for Alaska, so I had to get a new one again. I finally did all the courses, and then I had to take another test. A test center. Okay, good. I had to take another test. Test center. Okay, good. And then I had to figure out I had to take another test. But this time I asked, can they spray it? They said they're supposed to spray, and they said they won't spray it. Like I said, that's their fault. Now I can do private freaking pesticides applicator. Bad thing about it, I'm a chemical engineer. So you want me on your bad side, okay then, breathe this area. Anyway, subject at hand, using pesticides on farming can only be dangerous if you use it improperly. And there's 4 different grades of all form of fumigations. There's non-lethal, there's lethal in certain dosage, there's semi-lethal, and there's so dangerous if you touch your skin, you die. Congratulations. And you never use the one that's solely to touch the skin, you die on certain vegetables or fruits to begin with in the first place. You only use those on, if you do, it's only on imported food, which no part of America grow bananas. So, and not many bananas are legit bananas to begin with. But anyway, I'm out.